Hey guys, it's Travis and welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following along my channel, you know I'm a speed guy. I am a proponent of the lighter arrow, get there faster. That if you're shooting, over 300 feet per second, I mean, you should get really good penetration on a whitetail deer. I know the trend lately has been, let's go to these heavy arrows, 500, 600 grains, to punch through an animal. And I'm almost 60 years old, and I don't know, I just can't climb on that wagon. I just can't. I want my arrow to get there as fast as possible. So, I'm shooting a 370 grain arrow. And this is the broadhead I have decided to go with this year. Let's see if you can't get a... That is the Mega Meat. I think this is probably the most devastating broadhead in archery today. I have literally watched every single video I can find on the results with this broadhead. The only bad result I could find was where a guy shot a pig and the thing opened up in flight. And I'm guessing he just didn't have these blades snapped down all the way into the collar, or maybe he had a bad collar. I mean, but the thing about this broadhead is it's rear deploying, and even if it doesn't deploy all the way, these blades are exposed, and you're going to get a 1-inch cut with a 3-blade. Now, the other thing about this broadhead is these blades are extremely thin, like a razor. To some people that is a negative, because these things are pretty much one and done. And I'm fine with that, because a narrower, thinner blade is going to cut better, and it's going to penetrate better because it makes a finer slice. If you look at the razor that you use to shave your face with, it's not thick. They make the finest, thinnest blade that they can, because you can get a better edge on it, and it cuts better. A scalpel is the same way. It's a fine edge. And this broadhead is basically 3 razor blades. See if it'll focus on this thing again. I'm not focus on it. There we go. So that's why I'm going to use it. And every video that I have seen, these things just make such a massive hole, because they rear deploy and they lock into these collars. And that is a nasty, nasty broadhead that's going to make a devastating, devastating cut. So I was thinking, how can I test my own setup? So after giving this much thought and deliberation, this is what I've come up with. Alright, so let's go ahead and weigh the arrow. Okay, got that 0. And now we're going to 0 that out. Okay, so let's put arrow on there and get it level. Make sure it's not hitting anything. Alright, so that one is 367 grains. So this one is just a few grains lighter than some of the others, but they're all within a couple of grains. So now we'll round that up to 370, pretty close. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to chronograph this arrow so you guys can see exactly how fast it's going. This arrow weighs 370 grains. I've weighed it 4 or 5 times, so it's definitely 370 grains. So we're going to shoot it through the chronograph now. Let's see what kind of speeds that we're getting. I'm going to zoom in on that so you guys can see it. .306. All right, let's shoot it one more time. and 307. So I'm going to zoom in on that shot for you. .307. Okay, so we're definitely shooting over 300 feet per second. Over 300 feet per second. I've gotten even as high as 308. So let's just call it, you know, I think the lowest I had was 306 and the highest was 308 a few days ago. So let's just go ahead and call it 307. I think that's going to be a pretty good estimate of the speed. Okay, so what did I come up with? I made my own deer. I have 2 slabs of pork ribs wrapped around a watermelon. So this is going to simulate the side of a deer going through the ribs. The watermelon is going to simulate the thoracic cavity, and then let's see if it can penetrate the other side. So we're going to shoot this target at 20 yards, and let's see the results that we get with it. All right, looked like a pretty good hit. Let's go check it out. Okay, so here's where it hit, and as you can see, it looks like the broadhead opened up beautifully. And did it come through? Yes, I did. I had a complete pass through. So it just buzzed through that perfectly. Look at that. That thing went right through. So I had a complete pass through and it stopped. And just look at the way that broadhead, got a lot of shadows there. Hopefully y'all can see this. But just look at the way that broadhead cut that target too. I mean, it just shredded that thing. So let's see if we can't take this apart now and see what kind of damage we got. All right, so let's take off the duct tape here. Wow. That thing went through that like butter. So, I mean, it just busted those ribs, if you can see that. It just busted those ribs and just cut a perfect hole. I mean, big gapping hole right through that. Same thing on the watermelon. Beautiful, beautiful entry hole there. That is really, really good. Now let's see if I can't get this arrow back out of here. Pretty slippery. I'm gonna cut myself on that broadhead. It is coming out. Come on out of there. That's the thing. These things aren't made to come backwards. So there's a broadhead fully deployed. I'm going to take that thing off. Now let's take a look at that broadhead. Okay, so that broadhead is fully deployed, and I tell you, it looks like you could shoot that thing again. I mean, there is not a nick on that blade after going through both ribs. That's really impressive. So let's put that down here and pull this arrow out. There's the back side. You see that hole right there? I mean, that is gnarly. And back side of the ribs, I mean, it just shot right through. Look at the hole it made. Broke the ribs. You can feel them where they're broke right there. So ribs, no problem. That rib, you can see that. That rib right there is completely severed. Completely right through the bone. So then it went through into that foam target. So let's move this over, and let's go ahead and cut this watermelon and see if we can see the wound channel that it makes. So it went through like this, so I'm going to cut it this way so we can see what this thing looks like all the way through it. See that? Look at that beautiful 3-blade cut going completely through that. Look at that. That's that is really amazing. I mean, I can actually see the camera looking. I don't know if y'all can see. I can see light coming through. I mean, that's serious nastiness. I mean, that. Oh man, that's pretty brutal. Watermelon's pretty good too. That's pretty good. I have to say, I am really impressed with this setup so far. Buzzed through this thing. Just made mincemeat of the inside of this watermelon. Through both the ribs and penetrated deep in here. I mean, it really destroyed my target. Cut a big old freaking chunk out of it, pulling it out of there. But again, I mean, the broadhead is in really good shape. I mean, I've got no problems. Just probably put another collar on it and clean it up, shooting it again. Maybe a hog or something. It does seem like it's maybe slightly duller, which is to be expected, but the blades are perfect. I am really liking this broadhead. I like this watermelon too. Pretty doggone good. That's the cool thing when you test with watermelon. You get to eat it. A hot summer day. All right. So I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I know it was only 20 yards, so at about 40. Well, I'm at the side of my house, so I just really can't shoot that far. But based on these results, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. Stay tuned though. I think I'm going to test some other broadheads using the same method. It's pretty fun. And I think it's a fair representation of what it would be like to shoot a deer. I don't know how I could really test it much other way. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to eat some more watermelon.